Welcome the students of AC Civil for the subject Concrete Technology Unit 5 Concreting Equipments, Techniques and Special Concretes. We will use the reference books M.A. Shetty Concrete Technology Theory and Practice, M.L. Gambhir Concrete Technology Theory and Practice, A.M. Nevle Properties of Concrete. We will see now the course objectives. With the successful completion of the course, the student should have the capability to know the properties of various ingredients of concrete and concept of mixed design. Second course objective, to learn the behavior and properties of concrete in fresh state and hardened state. Third course objective is to understand special concrete and their applications. Fourth course objective is to understand the durability aspect and preventive measures to enhance the life of the concrete. Now we will see the course outcomes. On successful completion of this course, student will be able to select the various ingredients of concrete and its suitable proportion to achieve desired strength. Second course outcome, able to check the properties of concrete in fresh state and hardened state. Third course outcome is get acquainted to concreting equipments, techniques and different types of special concrete. Fourth course outcome is able to predict deteriorations in concrete and get acquainted to various repairing methods and techniques. This is the syllabus of Unit 5, Concreting Equipment, Techniques and Special Concrete. It has Part A, Concreting Equipments and Techniques, which include batching plant, concrete mixers, hauling, pumps, concrete vibrators and compaction equipment. Special concreting techniques, ready mix concrete, underwater concreting, roller compacted concrete, cold and hot weather concreting. It also includes Part B, special concretes, which include lightweight concrete and its type, foam concrete, no fine concrete, self-compacting concrete, high density concrete, fiber reinforced concrete, geopolymer concrete and ferrocement technique. Now we will see Part B, special concretes. In that, lightweight concrete and its types, foam concrete, no fines concrete and self-compacting concrete. First we will see lightweight concrete and its types. One of the disadvantages of conventional concrete is the high self-weight of the concrete. Density of the normal concrete is in the order of 2200 to 2600 kg per meter cube. This heavy self-weight will make it to some extent an uneconomical structural material. Attempts have been made in the past to reduce the self-weight of concrete to increase the efficiency of concrete as a structural material. The lightweight concrete, as we call, is a concrete whose density varies from 300 kg per meter cube to 1850 kg per meter cube. There are many advantages of having low density. It helps in reducing of dead load, increases the progress of building, the lowers haulage and handling cost. The weight of a building on a foundation is an important factor in design, particularly in the case of weak soil and tall structures. In frame structures, the beams and columns have to carry load of floors and walls. If floors and walls are made up of lightweight concrete, it will result in considerable economy. Another most important characteristic of lightweight concrete is the relatively low thermal conductivity, a property which improves with decreasing density. In extreme climatic conditions and also in case of buildings where air conditioning is to be installed, the use of lightweight concrete with low thermal conductivity will be of considerable advantage from the point of view of thermal comforts and lower power consumption. The adoption of lightweight concrete gives an outlet for industrial waste such as clinker, fly ash, slag, etc., which otherwise create problem for disposal. Basically, there is only one method for making concrete light, that is by the inclusion of air in concrete. This is achieved in actual practice by three different ways. First is by replacing the usual mineral aggregate by cellular, porous or lightweight aggregate. Second, by introducing gas or air bubbles in mortar. This is known as aerated concrete. Third, by omitting sand fraction from the aggregate. This is called no fines concrete. The table 1 shows the whole ranges of lightweight concrete under three main groups. So here the table 1 is shown, groups of lightweight concrete. First group is the no fines concrete. Second group is lightweight aggregate concrete. And third is the aerated concrete. In that two subtypes are there, chemical aerating and foaming mixture. In no fines concrete, it has gravel, crushed stone, coarse clinker, sinter pulverized fuel ash, expanded clay or shale, expanded slate and foam slag. In lightweight aggregate concrete, it has clinker, foam slag, expanded clay, expanded shale, expanded slate, cinder pulverized fuel ash, exotic vermiculate, expanded perlite, pumice, organic aggregate. And in accelerated concrete, it has chemical aerating. It includes aluminum powder method, hydrogen peroxide and bleaching powder method. Another aerated concrete type is foaming mixture. It includes preformed foam and air-entered foam. Lightweight concrete has become more popular in recent years owing to the tremendous advantages it offers over the conventional concrete. Modern technology and a better understanding of the concrete has also helped much in the promotion and use of lightweight concrete. A particular type of lightweight concrete called structural lightweight concrete is the one which is comparatively lighter than conventional concrete, but at the same time strong enough to be used for structural purposes. It therefore combines the advantages of normal weight concrete and discards the advantages of the normal weight concrete. Perhaps this type of concrete will have great future in the years to come. Out of the three main groups of lightweight concrete, the lightweight aggregate concrete and aerated concrete are more often used than the no fines concrete. Lightweight concrete can also be classified on the purpose for which it is used, such as structural lightweight concrete, non-load bearing concrete and insulating concrete. The aerated concrete, which was mainly used for insulating purposes, is now being used for structural purposes, sometimes in conjunction with steel reinforcement. The aerated concrete is more widely manufactured and used in the Scandinavian countries, whereas in UK, France, Germany and USA, owing to the production of large-scale artificial industrial lightweight aggregate. Lightweight aggregates concrete is widely used. In some countries, the natural dense graded aggregate are either in short supply or they are available at a considerable distance from the industrial cities. In such cases, the use of locally produced lightweight aggregate in the city area offers more economical solutions. These factors have led to the development and widespread use of considerable varieties of industrial lightweight aggregates of varying quality by trade names such as Lika, that is expanded clay, algalite, that is expanded shell, litag, that is cinder polarized fuel ash, hydite, that is expanded shell. So the lightweight aggregates. The lightweight aggregates can be classified into two categories, namely natural lightweight aggregates and artificial lightweight aggregates. So these are the natural lightweight aggregates and these are the artificial lightweight aggregates. The natural lightweight aggregates are pumice, dolomite, scoria, volcanic cinders, sawdust and rice husk. Artificial lightweight aggregate is artificial cinders, coke breeze, foam slag, polted clay, expanded shells and slate, cinder fly ash, exploited vermiculite, expanded perlite, thermocol beads. Natural aggregate. Natural lightweight aggregates are not found in many places and they are also not of uniform quality. As such, they are not used very widely in making lightweight concrete. Out of the natural lightweight aggregates, pumice is the only one which is used rather widely. Now we will see the natural aggregates, pumice. These are rocks of volcanic origin which occur in many parts of the world. They are light enough and yet strong enough to be used as lightweight aggregate. Their lightness is due to escaping of gas from the molten lava when erupted from deep beneath the earth's crust. Pumice is usually light color or nearly white and has a fairly even texture of interconnected cells. Pumice is one of the oldest kind of the lightweight aggregates which has been even used in Roman structures. Pumice is mined, washed and then used. Pumice may be cindered to the point of incept fusion when a much stronger aggregate is required. Now we will see the another natural aggregates, diatomite. This is the hydrated amorphous silica derived from the remains of microscopic aquatic plants called diatoms. It is also known as glacier. The deposit of these aquatic plants are formed beneath the deep ocean bed. Subsequently, when the ocean bed is raised and becomes continent, the diatomous earth becomes available on land. In pure form, diatomite has an average weight of 450 kg per meter cube. But due to impurities, the natural available diatomite may weigh more than 450 kg per meter cube. It has been pointed out earlier that diatomite is used as a workability agent and also as one of the good pozzolanic material. Diatomite or diatominous earth can also be cindered in rotary kilns to make artificial lightweight aggregates. Now we will see another natural aggregates, scoria. Scoria is also lightweight aggregate of volcanic origin which is usually dark in color and contains larger and irregular shaped cells unconnected with each other. Therefore, it is slightly weaker than pumice. Now we will see another natural aggregates, volcanic cinders. These are also loose volcanic product resembling artificial cinder. Now we will see another natural aggregates, sawdust. Sometimes sawdust is used as a lightweight aggregate in flooring and in manufacture of precast products. A few difficulties have been experienced for its widespread use. Sawdust affect adversely the setting and hardening of Portland cement owing to the content of tannins and soluble carbohydrates. With sawdust manufactured from softwood, the addition of lime to the mix in an amount equal to about 1/3 to 1/2 the volume of cement will counteract this. But the above method, that is addition of lime, is not found effective when the sawdust is made from some of the hardwoods. Other methods such as boiling in water and ferrous sulfate solution also have been tried to remove the effect of tannins, but the cost of the process limits its application. To offset the delay in setting and hardening, addition of calcium chloride to the extent of about 5% by weight of the cement has been found to be successful. The shrinkage and moisture movement of sawdust is also high. The practical mix is of the ratio of 1:2 to 1:3, that is cement to sawdust by volume. Sawdust concrete has been used in the manufacture of precast concrete products, jointless flooring, and roofing tiles. It is also used in concrete block for holding the nail well. Wood aggregate also has been tried for making concrete. The wood wool concrete is made by mixing wood shavings with Portland cement or gypsum for the manufacture of precast blocks. This has been used as wall panels for acoustic purposes. Now we will see another artificial aggregates, brickbats. Brickbats are one of the types of the aggregates used in certain places where natural aggregates are not available or costly. The brickbat aggregates cannot be really brought under lightweight aggregates because the concrete made with this aggregate will not come under the category of lightweight concrete. However, since the weight of such concrete will be less than the weight of the normal concrete, it is included here. Wherever brickbat aggregates are used, the aggregates are made from slightly overburnt bricks, which will be hard and absorb less water. Brickbat aggregates are also sometimes used in conjunction with high alumina cement for the manufacture of heat-resistant concrete. Now we will see another artificial aggregates, cinders, clinker and bridge. The term clinker, bridge and cinder are used to cover the material partly fused or cinder particles arising from the combustion of coal. These days the use of these materials as lightweight aggregate in the form of coarse aggregate or fine aggregate is getting abated owing to the wider use of pulverized coal rather than lumps of coal. Cinder aggregates undergo high drying shrinkage and moisture movement. Cinder aggregates have been also used for making building blocks, for partition wall, for making screeding over flat roofs and for plastering purposes. The unsoundness of clinker or cinder aggregates is often due to the presence of excessive unburnt coal particles. Sometimes unburnt particles may be present as much as 15% to 25%. This high proportion of coal expand on wetting and contract on drying, which is responsible for the unsoundness of concrete made with such aggregate. Now we will see another artificial aggregates, foamed slag. Foamed slag is one of the most important types of lightweight aggregates. It is made by rapidly quenching blast furnace slag, a byproduct produced in the manufacture of pig iron. If the cooling of the slag is done with a large excessive of water, granulated slag is formed, which is used in the manufacture of blast furnace slag cement. If the cooling done with a limited amount of water in such a way as a trip steam in mass, it produces a porous honeycombed material which resembles pumice. Sometimes the molten slag is rapidly agitated with a limited amount of water, and the steam and gas produced are made to get entrapped in the mass. Such a product is also called foamed slag or expanded slag. The texture and strength of foamed slag depends upon the chemical composition and the method of production. But in general, the structure is similar to that of the natural pumice. The foamed slag must be first free from contamination of heavy impurities, second free from volatile impurities such as coke or coal, and third is free from excess of sulfate. In India, foamed slag is manufactured in many steel mills. In Mysore, iron and steel works at Bhadravati, large quantity of foamed slag is being manufactured. Industries have come up near the steel mills to manufacture ready-made building blocks and partition wall panels. Such prefabricated items, being lighter in weight, could be transported at comparatively low cost. The foam slag is also used for the manufacture of precast RCC lintels and other small structural members. By controlling the density, foam slag can be used for load-bearing walls and also for the production of structural lightweight concrete. Now we will see another artificial aggregates. Bolted clay. When certain glass and shells are heated to the point of inception fusion, they expand, or what is termed as bolt, to many times their original volume on account of the formation of gas within the mass of the fusion temperatures. The cellular structure so formed in retain on cooling, and the product is used as lightweight aggregate. Iodite, rocklite, gravelite, lica, aglite, chromazite are some of the patented names given to the bloated clay or shell manufactured in various Western countries adopting different techniques. Central Building Research Institute of India, that is CBRI, has also developed a process technique for the manufacture of bloated clay for structural use. The experimental building constructed at CBRI, that is Central Building Research Institute, using bloated clay as structural lightweight aggregate has been standing well. Now we will see another artificial aggregates. Cindered fly ash or pulverized fuel ash. Fly ash is finely divided residue comprising of spherical glassy particles resulting from the combustion of powder coal. By heat treatment, these small particles can be made to combine, thus forming porous pellets or noodles which have considerable strength. The fly ash is mixed with limited amount of water and is first made into pellets and then cindered at a temperature of 1000 degrees Celsius to 1200 degrees Celsius. The sindering process is nearly similar to that used in manufacture of Portland cement. The fly ash may contain some unburnt coal which may vary from 2% to 15% or more depending upon the efficiency of burning. The aim is always to make use of fuel present in the fly ash and to avoid the use of extra fuel, which incidentally improves the quality of cinder fly ash. Cinder fly ash is one of the most important type of the structural lightweight aggregate used in modern times. In UK, it is sold by the trade name Lactag. It has high strength to density ratio and relatively low drying shrinkage. Now we will see another artificial aggregates, exfoliate vermiculite. Raw vermiculite is a micaceous mineral and has a laminar structure. When heated with certain percentage of water, it expands by delamination in the same way as that of slate or shale. This type of expansion is known as exfoliation. Due to exfoliation, the vermiculite expands many times its original volume. The fully exfoliated vermiculite, which may have expanded even as much as 30 times, will have a density of only 60 kg per meter cube to 130 kg per meter cube. The concrete made with vermiculite as aggregate therefore will have very low density and hence very low strength. This concrete is used for insulating purpose. It is also used for in situ roof and floor screeds or for the manufacture of blocks, slabs and tiles, which are used for sound insulation and heat insulation. Vermiculite concrete products can be cut, shone, nailed or screwed. The prefabricated vermiculite concrete panels can be used for floor sound deadener or wall and partition sound deadener. The hollow blocks made by vermiculite concrete can be used for encasing pipes carrying steam or hot water. This can also be used as a heat resistant material being non-inflammable. Vermiculite plaster made in conjunction with gypsum is completely incombustible in addition to possessing sound absorption quality and thermal insulation characteristics. In India, Mineral Refining Corporation at Mysore produces vermiculite in many grades for use in concrete industry. Now we will see another artificial aggregates, expanded perlite. Perlite is one of the natural volcanic gases like pumice. This, when crushed and heated to the point of incipient fusion at a temperature of about 900 degrees Celsius to 1100 degrees Celsius, it expands to form a light cellular material with a density of about 30 kg per meter cube to 240 kg per meter cube. This light material is crushed carefully to various sizes and used in concrete. Due to this very low density, this is also used for insulation grade concrete. So we have seen the lightweight concrete and its types. Now we will see the foam concrete. Aerated concrete is made by introducing air or gas into a slurry composed of Portland cement or lime and finely crushed siliceous filler, so that when the mix sets and hardens, a uniformly cellular structure is formed. Though it is called aerated concrete, it is really not a concrete in a correct sense of the word. As described above, it is a mixture of water, cement and finely crushed sand. Aerated concrete is also referred to as gas concrete, foam concrete, cellular concrete. In India, we have at present a few factories manufacturing aerated concrete. A common product of aerated concrete in India is C4X. This is the patented product of engineer B.G. Shirke. There are several ways in which aerated concrete can be manufactured. First is by the formation of gas by chemical reaction within the mass during liquid state or plastic state. Second, by mixing perform stable foam with the slurry. And third, by using finely powdered metal, usually aluminum powder, with the slurry and made to react with the calcium hydroxide liberated during the hydration process to give out large quantity of hydrogen gas. This hydrogen gas, when contained in the slurry mix, gives the cellular structure. Powder zinc may also be added in place of aluminum powder. Hydrogen peroxide and bleaching powder have also been used instead of metal powder. But this practice is not widely followed at present. In the second method performed, stable foam is mixed with cement and crushed sand slurry, thus causing the cellular structure when this gets set and hardened. As a minor modification, some foam giving agents are also mixed and thoroughly churned or beaten in the same manner as that of preparing foam with the white of egg to obtain foam effect in the concrete. In a similar way, air entrained agent in large quantity can also be used and mixed thoroughly to introduce cellular aerated structure in the concrete. However, this method cannot be employed for decreasing the density of the concrete beyond a certain point, and as such the use of air entrapment is not often practiced for making aerated concrete. Gasification method is of the most widely adopted methods using aluminum powder or such other similar material. This method is adopted in the large-scale manufacture of aerated concrete in the factory, wherein the whole process is mechanized and the product is subjected to high pressure steam curing, that is, in other words, the products are autoclaved. Such products will suffer neither retrogression of strength nor dimensional instability. The practice of using preformed foamed with slurry is limited to small scale production and in situ work, where small change in the dimensional stability can be tolerated. But the advantage is that any density desired at site can be made in this method. Now we will see the properties of foamed concrete. Use of foam concrete has gained popularity not only because of the low density but also because of other properties, mainly the thermal insulation property. Aerated concrete is made in the density range from 300 kg per meter cube to about 800 kg per meter cube. Lower density grades are used for insulating purposes, while medium density grades are used for the manufacture of building blocks or load bearing walls, and comparatively higher density grades are used in the manufacture of prefabricated structural members in conjunction with steel reinforcement. So we have seen the foam concrete. Now we will see another special concrete, that is no fines concrete. The third method of producing light concrete is the is to omit the fines from conventional concrete. No fines concrete, as the term implies, is a kind of concrete from which the fine aggregate fraction has been omitted. This concrete is made up of only coarse aggregate, cement and water. Very often, only single size coarse aggregate of size passing through 20 mm retained on 10 mm is used. No fine concrete is becoming popular because of some of the advantages it possesses over the conventional concrete. The single size aggregates make a good no fines concrete, which in addition to having large voids and hence light in weight, also offers architecturally attractive look. No fine concrete is generally made with the aggregate cement ratio from 6:1 to 10:1. Aggregates used are normally of size passing through 20 mm and retained on 10 mm ISU size. Unlike the conventional concrete, in which strength is primarily controlled by the water cement ratio, the strength of no fines concrete is dependent on the water cement ratio, aggregate cement ratio and unit weight of the concrete. The water cement ratio for satisfactory consistency will vary between a narrow range of 0.38 and 0.52. Water cement ratio must be chosen with care. If too low a water cement ratio is adopted, the paste will be so dry that aggregates do not get properly smeared with paste, which results in insufficient adhesion between the particles. On the other hand, if the water cement ratio is too high, the paste flows to the bottom of the concrete, particularly when vibrated, and fills up the voids between the aggregates at the bottom and makes that portion dense. This condition also reduces the adhesion between the aggregates and aggregate owing to the paste becoming very thin. No standard method is available like slump test or compaction factor test for measuring the consistency of no fines concrete. Perhaps a good experienced visual examination and trial and error method may be the best guide for deciding optimum water cement ratio. No fines concrete, when conventionally aggregates are used, may show a density of about 1600 kg per meter cube to 1900 kg per meter cube, but when no fines concrete is made by using lightweight aggregate, the density may come to about 360 kg per meter cube. No fines concrete does not possess any serious problem for compaction. Use of mechanical compaction or vibratory methods are not required. Simple rodding is sufficient for full compaction. No fines concrete does not give much side thrust to the formwork, as the particles are having point-to-point contact and concrete does not flow. Therefore, the side of the formworks can be removed in the time interval shorter than for conventional concrete. However, formwork may be required to be kept for a longer time when used as structural member, as the strength of the concrete is comparatively less. The compressive strength of no-fines concrete varies between 1.4 megapascal to about 14 megapascal. The bond strength of no-fines concrete is very low, and therefore reinforcement is not used in conjunction with no-fine concrete. However, if reinforcement is required to be used in no-fines concrete, it is advisable to smear the reinforcement with cement paste to improve the bond and also to protect it from rusting. The drying shrinkage of no-fines concrete is considerably lower than that of conventional concrete. No-fines concrete made with river gravel may show a drying shrinkage of the order of 200 into 10 to the power minus 6, which is only about 50% of the conventional concrete. Since there is only a very thin layer of paste existing between aggregates, and since the aggregate are having point-to-point contact, the value of drying shrinkage becomes low. However, the rate of drying shrinkage is generally much higher than conventional concrete. For no-fine concrete, 50% to 80% of the total drying shrinkage takes place within about 10 days. The corresponding value for conventional concrete in 10 days is 20% to 30%. Furthermore, the drying shrinkage will get completed in just over a month. The value of coefficient of thermal conductivity of no-fines concrete is much less than conventional concrete. No-fine concrete can be used for a variety of purposes. It is used in large scale for load bearing, cast in situ, external walls, for single story and multi-storied buildings. This type of concrete has been used for temporary structures such because of low initial cost and also for the ease with which it can be broken and reused as aggregate. Architects consider this as an attractive construction material, owing to its slightly higher thermal insulating property. It can be used for external walls for heat insulation. Because of rough texture, it gives a good base for plastering. Even if the outside surface of the no-fine concrete wall is subjected to rain beating, the inside of the wall will be free from dampness because of the low capillary action on account of large voids. When sand is not available, no-fines concrete should become a popular construction material. So we have seen the no-fines concrete. Now we will see the self-compacting concrete. Making concrete structures without vibration have been done in the past. For example, placement of concrete underwater is done by the use of tremie without vibration. Mass concrete and shaft concrete can be successfully placed without vibration. But the above examples of the concrete are generally of lower strength and difficult to obtain consistent quality. Modern application of self-compacting concrete, that is SCC, is focused on high performance, better and more reliable and uniform quality. Recognizing the lack of uniformity and complete compaction of concrete by vibration, researchers at the University of Tokyo, Japan, started in late 1980s to develop SCC, that is self-compacting concrete. By the early 1990s, Japan has developed and used SCC, that is self-compacting concrete, that does not require vibrations to achieve full compaction. By the year 2000, the SCC, that is self-compacting concrete, has become popular in Japan for prefabricated products and ready-mix concrete. Several European countries recognize the significance and potential of SCC, that is self-compacting concrete, developed in Japan. The utilization of self-compacting concrete started growing rapidly. Aggregates used are VSI, that is vertical shaft impactor. Originally developed in Japan to offset a growing shortage of skilled labor, it has been proved to be beneficial from the following points. First is the faster construction. Next is the reduction in site manpower. Third is the better surface finish. Fourth is the easier placing. Fifth is the improved durability. Sixth is the greater freedom in design. Seventh is the thinner concrete section. Eighth is the reduced noise level. And ninth is the safer working environment. Several test methods have been developed in attempts to characterize the properties of SCC, that is self-compacting concrete. The list of the test methods for workability properties of SCC, that is self-compacting concrete, is given below. Here the method is given and here the property is given. So the method which is used, that is slump flow by Abrams cone, it will give filling ability. T 50 cm slump flow filling ability, J ring passing ability, V funnel filling ability, V funnel and T 5 minutes segregation resistance, L box passing ability, U box passing ability, fill box passing ability, GTM screen stability test segregation resistance, and Urmit filling ability. So here the figure 1 shows the slump cone. The figure number 2 is showing the J ring. So this is the J ring. Next figure is showing the V funnel. This is the V funnel. Next figure is the L box. This is the L box. Next is the U box. So this is the U box. Next is the fill box. So here we can see the fill box. Next we can see the figure Urmit. So Urmit we can see here. So we have seen the special concrete, self-compacting concrete. So we have seen the part B, special concrete. In that we have seen the lightweight concrete and its types, foam concrete, no fines concrete, self-compacting concrete. Now these are the YouTube links available on YouTube. What is lightweight concrete? Types of concrete. Number 5. Lightweight foam concrete blocks production process. Make lightweight concrete garden boxes. Part 3. Aircrete, vermiculite, lava rock. Next YouTube link, lightweight concrete system. Next YouTube link, introduction lightweight concrete system. Next YouTube link, lightweight aggregates part 1. Next, lightweight aggregates part 2. Next YouTube link, how strong is lightweight concrete, deflection test perlite, vermiculite, lava rock, CSA panels. Next YouTube link, artificial lightweight aggregate. Next YouTube link, what is foam concrete? Foam concrete technology, foam concrete preparation, foam concrete affordable house built in 6 days, foam generator for cellular lightweight concrete production, how it works. Next YouTube link, what is pervious concrete, porous concrete, permeable concrete, types of concrete number 14. Keystone Tech Talk number 7, SRWs and no fines concrete backfill. Permeable concrete and no fine concrete, 3rd international webinar on construction materials. Next YouTube link, decorative concrete, filled no fines method. Next YouTube link, what is self-consolidated concrete, self-compacting concrete, types of concrete number 12. Next YouTube link, module 1, lecture 21, self-compacting concrete. Next YouTube link, module 1, lecture 22, testing self-compacting concrete. Next YouTube link, special concrete, self-compacting concrete. So we have seen the part B, special concrete. In that we have seen lightweight concrete and its types, foam concrete, no fines concrete and self-compacting concrete. So this is the syllabus of unit number 5. Title is Concreting Equipment, Techniques and Special Concrete. It includes part A, concreting equipment and techniques, which include batching plants, concrete mixers, hauling, pumps, concrete vibrators and compaction equipment, special concreting techniques, ready mix concrete, underwater concreting, roller compacted concrete, cold and hot weather concreting. Then it also includes part B, special concrete, which includes lightweight concrete and its types, foam concrete, no fines concrete, self-compacting concrete, high density concrete, fiber reinforced concrete, geopolymer concrete and ferrocement technique. Thank you all students.